Today we're talking about Amazon EventBridge. Here's what we're going to cover. What EventBridge is and how it works, event sources, event buses and rules, event patterns and targets, EventBridge versus CloudWatch events, and the common use cases and pricing. So Amazon EventBridge is a serverless event bus that makes it easy to connect applications together using events. You could think of it like a notification system. Something happens in AWS, maybe a file gets uploaded to S3 or an EC2 instance stops. EventBridge detects that event and automatically triggers an action in response. You set up rules that say when this happens, do that. And then EventBridge handles that routing automatically. So the way it works is EventBridge has three main components. The event sources, where events come from, like the AWS services, your own custom applications, and SaaS applications. So every time something happens, a file upload or a state change, user action, an event is generated. Next is event buses. An event bus receives events from sources. There are three types: default event bus, which receives events from AWS services, custom event buses for your own application, and partner event buses for SaaS integrations. So think of an event bus like a central router that receives all the events and figure out where to send them. And then rules. Rules define what to do when specific events occur. A rule has an event pattern, which means what events to match, and then a target, which is what to do when matched. You can have multiple rules on the same event bus, and one rule can have multiple targets. So let's say you want to process images uploaded to S3. First, the user uploads an image to your S3 bucket. Second, S3 generates an event and sends it to EventBridge. Third, EventBridge has a rule that matches S3 upload events from this bucket. Fourth, the rule triggers a Lambda function to resize the image. And then finally, the Lambda processes the image and saves it back to S3. So it's all automatic. There's no polling, no manual checking, and EventBridge detects the event and triggers the workflow instantly. Event patterns let you filter which events trigger your rule. For example, any EC2 instance that stops in US East 1, or any S3 upload to buckets with the tag environment equals production, or any RDS snapshot that completes successfully. And then targets are what gets triggered when an event matches, like Lambda functions, step functions, SNS, SQS, ECS tasks, batch jobs, Kinesis streams, and API gateway endpoints. So one rule can trigger multiple targets at once. So EventBridge replaces CloudWatch events. EventBridge has all the features of CloudWatch events, plus SaaS integration, custom event buses, and schema registry. A real-world use case for automated workflows. If an EC2 instance terminates, then EventBridge triggers Lambda to clean up related resources and notify your team. Or for data processing, if a new file lands in S3, EventBridge triggers step functions workflow to process, transform, and load the data. And for pricing, custom events cost $1 per million events published to your event bus. State change events from AWS services are free, and most AWS services events are free. You only pay for custom events from your application. So that's Amazon EventBridge, serverless event bus for connecting applications with events. If you found this helpful, let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.